Hi everyone! Today I'll be giving you a brief tour on how to set up the Odroid Go Advanced console on and basically set up of the SD card and how to format it easily. Okay, this is going to be pretty easy, but I'm going to tell you how to do it. Let's just start. So basically all you want to do is get any type of SD card you want. It can be a 32 gig. It can be from any brand, by the way. 32 gig, 64 gig, 128 gigs, 216 gig, 516 is also fine. They're all fine. You can choose what you want. I don't think a terabyte works, but you can try if you want. So what you have to do is that you have to get something like a Type-C cable or anything that can convert. You need a micro SD card so you can convert it on a computer. It can be Windows 10, Mac, whatever. I'm going to be specifically for this video, it's going to be a Windows 11 laptop, just so basically everyone has it. Well, except for the Mac enthusiasts. If you're a Mac enthusiast, you might want to click off this video. Okay, so all you have to do for this one is you have to first think of your 4 options of different OS compatibility. You can choose any one of you want. You can find the 3 customized versions on basically any Odroid forum. You can find Odroid wiki you can also try if you want to. If you want to, the one that I installed personally, just because at the time of this video actually, currently the Ubuntu version or the base model version that the company, the hard kernel company, the one who made the Odroid, actually wants you to, is the Ubuntu, which is the 2.21 version, which is currently a pretty good version because it does allow you to, it fixes many of the bugs it had on the first release, which had a lot of bugs, I'm just telling you. So what you want to do is you have to get any kind of Flash OS imager that you can find on that is compatible with Windows 11. I used I don't remember what it's, I know what it's called, but I don't really know the actual name. But it's an image, it's a free imager. All you have to do is get the Ubuntu .img folder, the .iso folder or the SD card, and all you have to do is take the ISO image, plop it onto the thing you're using for the OS imager, plop it on as select the image file. Then it should pop you onto the actual steps where you can put on the drive. Be extremely careful on what you're formatting. Be extremely careful and understand which is your actual computer drive and which is your SD card drive, because you do not want to mess this part up. If you do, well, you might end up with a non-functioning computer. Okay, all jokes aside, you actually have to be really careful with this method. So now, after you're done, choose the SD card that you're doing. Usually, for what I'm using is SanDisk. It doesn't really say it's SanDisk, so you might have to be really careful with this one because slight naming variations, you want to be extremely careful, is all I'm saying. So, choose your drive and then click Flash. Now, after a while, you should get a message saying it's completely successful. I have a few issues along the way, so I'll give you all those issues after I got the main steps out of the way. So, good thing to note for you is that if you're having a 128 gigs, you will have to expect a little bit less. Not a little bit less, but you will have to get a significant amount lower. Like for me, I got 3 gigs, which is, I know, not a lot, but it should be sufficing enough. It's not a lot, but it's not much you need. So I'll give you the cons later in this video, and then I'll tell you that. So anyways, coming back to the main part of this video, what you have to do mainly is after you've got the flash drive out, you have basically completed step 1 of the process. The main step 1, anyway. So now that you've formatted your SD card, this SD card will no longer work for anything but the Odroid. Just telling you. If you've already done this step and you realize that this is the bad mistake you've done, I don't know what you're going to do. But yeah, let's move on. All you have to do now, I've said that a lot, you just need to now get your selection of ROMs that you need. Like, you can find this on the internet, to the actual ROM folder itself. And then you can upload whatever you want onto it. Right, it's pretty easy. Then, once you've got your selection out, I used archive.com. You can choose whatever site you want, but that you can use for the ROM folder itself. Now, that you got your stuff, your actual ROM folder itself, put that with all the information in it onto your desktop. It doesn't need to be your desktop, but anywhere you can easily get access to it. Okay, now that that's out of the way, now go back to your file folder. You want to download any Linux file reader. As long as it have a trial and you don't need to pay for it, it should be fine. So I used the one from I don't remember, but it's from a software that allows you to for basically free for 7 days. Now just mount your OS onto it, and you should get a new folder popping up on your file explorer called root. There should be 2 of them currently. These are partitions. There is the boot one, which you can, once you actually put it in, it's the origin of the files. The base OS ISO image. Remember that. Then the root is where you can install and put on your actual ROM folder. Okay? Be very careful with this part. Just a disclaimer, because it might not work properly if you do get the part right. There are different segments of which the folder is located. On your ROM folder that you should have yourself, let's say that you have whatever file folder you want. It's labeled a regular font, right? You don't want that. You want to check for the ones on the actual ROM folder of the files in your root folder. You should find something called ROMs, the file folder. Click onto the ROMs and be very mindful that you do not take your entire OS image, your ROMs folder, and just copy paste it into the old ROMs folder, because that is not gonna work. Okay, the downloader will not read your files. It will not read your files, and the OS image will completely fall apart on itself. You need to be sure that each segment is located in the abbreviations of the ones you see. So, once you open up that folder, put all this data that's in it, like bin files, old files, all that in, put each of them inside. Make sure they are uncompressed. No zip folders are allowed, or else it will not read it. So, once you've all put that in, it might take a little while because extracting a lot of folders takes a lot of time. But then after you're done, put it in, you should be ready. The only final things you have to do here is on your main software that you're using for your file folder for Linux, the Linux file folder explorer you've used, click onto it. Now that you've found the Linux file explorer, go into it, and then you'll find an unmount button. Okay? Click the unmount button, and it should unmount your disk. This is crucial, because if you just unplug it from your main, your actual device that you're using to connect to the laptop, the device will be corrupted. Letting you know. So, remember to do 2 things. Unmount the actual disk from your root folder. The root folder should disappear from your library of this PC. It should be gone. That's a perfectly good thing. The boot folder should still be there though. It is not to disappear. Then safely go to the boot and now safely eject that. Now it's ejected, just take out the SD card. Now this is a perfectly good formatted SD card for your Odroid. Now this is the Odroid Go Advance. This is a discontinued product, but the reason why I made this video at this time right now is because I'll be making a tutorial on how to make it. This is part 1 of the video. I know I've said part 1 like a lot, but it's gonna happen. Don't worry, it's gonna happen. Okay, it will arrive. Just wait. Okay, just wait. Okay, we'll run. Okay, so now to the main part where I'm going to talk about the cons and the problems I faced. Now, as I said, this is the cons, so you can skip this part if you don't want to hear it. So, the first problem I encountered was that while I was doing it, I realized that there's only 3 gigabytes on my ROM. Now, I thought this was a problem, right? So, I went on to the disk part of Microsoft. I went into CMD. The CMD glitched on me, right? And then because of that glitch, it just showed me I had 0 bytes free of 0 bytes, which is a pretty bad thing. So what I had to do is go back to that software and remount everything. Little did I know, it glitched on me again. So I was forced to close it again. Until I realized that the entire thing got erased. At least it's 119 gigs now. But at least okay, no, there's nothing on it. Okay, there's nothing on it. So I had to redo the post process again. But the problem was that when I was trying to mount the image onto the OS itself, it just physically did not allow me to do it. I don't know why. It just said it couldn't read the image, which is the same exact image that I used for the previous attempt, which is a little crazy. So I closed that down, and then I couldn't find the app again, right? So I was just a little confused, is this a scam or something? Because is this a virus? It is not a virus, luckily. But, I don't know how, but I checked back 5 seconds after it. I thought it was gone, and it was perfectly fine, and it was right there. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did happen. Okay. Anyways, so after all that was done, now to go to the second problem I faced was that when I was going to the root and I was trying to put back on the ROMs, I couldn't even get the root to show up. I went to root, right? And I tried turning it on. It said the root showed up, but when I was trying to unmount the disk, it said that my SD card was corrupted. So I don't know how I got it corrupted, but I just thought that this is reading it wrong, and I was correct. So it worked. All I had to do was to close the software and turn it back on again, and then unmounted it, and then it worked. So I don't know really what the problem was, but it just happened. So yeah, it's the main cons that I faced in this journey, but it should go smooth as butter for you. If anything you faced problems throughout this in your journey, just tell me down in the comments below. The comments are even enabled, because they have a tendency to just turn off for some very weird reason. But if it is working, put it down in the comments below, and I'll see you later. Bye.